things just go well together, like Alice and Nick, or perhaps spaghetti and meet the balls. Today, Henry and Elise, we are making meatballs. And we're going to start off by combining all our ingredients. Let's go for it. Chuck them all in there. Nice. We've got some parmesan, some onions, some breadcrumbs, an egg, some tomato sauce, some chopped parsley, some garlic, some oregano seeds, some rosemary that needs Alice's gentle attention.
Thank you.
And all the ingredients and specifics are on our website as well, so you can suss them out for yourself and you can substitute ingredients. It all goes in except the shell, Henry, so don't pop the shell in there, whatever you do.
Well, I know a tip for if you do get any in.
There we go.
What's your tip?
If you put like a little bit of water on it and stick it, and it just sticks right on.
Oh, I like it.
These in there.
Very good. And this little tip that you're using to get the leaves off the rosemary is very good too, Elise.
Nice.
Just brush them the wrong way.
Brush them the wrong way. I like it. Like teasing the rosemary.
Just wet those hands for me in the bowl. And we're going to start combining all the ingredients. This really is a hands-on recipe, so Henry and Elise, get moulding, bring in all the ingredients together. Make them friends. Really get those hands in there, spread them apart. I don't want to have one meatball covered in parmesan and one with no breadcrumbs. That'd be a disaster. So really mix them in. Great stuff. Great stuff. Got the rosemary going in there as well. Perfect. How's the smell, Henry? Describe it.
So something you can't describe is
amazing. Well said. Yeah, good stuff. You can come cook anytime. And else, we're using just beef mince, but what other things could you chuck in there?
Well, you can use all sorts of different minces, and depending on what part of the world you're from, you might have meatballs that have turkey or chicken or pork, even seafood.
Yum. And mixing those together, looking good. Now let's start making some shapes with them. I mean, traditionally they're obviously meatballs, so let's stick with them all for now. But we can get a bit more creative, should we feel the need.
Yeah. And if your hands get too sticky, you can use a bit of that warm water.
And really work them in together. Work them in. That's too early. That's not ready yet. That needs a bit more pressing.
And you're right there, Nick. Working the meat activates the protein and helps it stick together.
Yes, which we want. You know, there's nothing worse than a meatball that crumbles up, is there? That's a disaster. That's dinner party over if that happens. So really work it. Great stuff. And this is also really nice for a burger patty as well. So you can make a bigger version of a meatball, a hamburger patty. I reckon that one's ready.
Yep.
Nice and round as well. Pop it on the edge there.
Gorgeous.
Lisa, how's that coming on? Yes, looking perfect. Whack it there. We've still got a few more to get through. And you can pick your size here, but it's good to make them all the same size, just to assist with cooking time. I'm going to start putting some rosemary on here. And this is, we made this, Alice, it's just a bit of our own olive oil.
Infused with rosemary.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Pan comes to a good heat.
Doubling it up.
And we're going to do a bit of a multiple cooking technique here, a bit of a shallow fry, and then into the oven as well.
Lovely.
Because we love using the onion, the oven, I should say.
We love the onion too, though. Onion and meat go very well together.
Nice, they are complementary.
Definitely.
That's a good size. Well, you tell me, you're the meatball expert now. Are you happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get it on. Good stuff.
And the reason, of course, Nick, why so many cultures have different types of minces is because it's a way of using up the entire beast. So the bits that you normally wouldn't eat.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't want any waste in the kitchen.
No way.
That's for sure. It's work days, Henry.
And anything that
We're in the final dive here.
Anything that, like flavour. All right, I reckon they're ready to go on.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
You guys can pop them in from a safe distance there, because you don't want the oil coming up and splashing you. There's nothing worse than that.
Good sizzle.
Pop them in. Yeah. Be careful. It is hot there.
You do
Quick
that.
fingers. Get in there, Henry. Good stuff, mate. Use the crane technique. Arm nice and high over. Very good. Keep craning. Very good. OH&S officers happy with that. Continue. Well, that crane's getting a bit more relaxed, thank you. Let's keep the crane high, away from the... Yes, perfect.
And I noticed
just throw them.
probably don't throw them from too far away.
Oh, see, that's why you don't throw them. Just from a gentle... There we go. Perfect.
I noticed that you're not, that you're sort of moving them away from each other, Nick. Why are you doing that?
I just don't want them to form a gigantic blob of meat, because that would ruin my recipe and wouldn't look good in the final photo.
No.
So, there we go. The aromas. Can you smell anything in particular coming through at the moment?
I can't smell.
Can't smell anything? Probably too far away from the goodness.
No, I just can't smell at all.
Oh.
Like a snake.
You can smell it. I think you can smell
They
the
have,
meat.
but they can't smell, but they have like
smell
heat sensory
the
things up
meat.
near their noses. No, they can smell.
Nice.
They can't
Just
hear.
use the tongs to work them over a little bit.
Ah, yes.
There we go. Don't want to move them around too much too early while they're still setting, I find. I like to give it a little bit of a crust on the outside.
Lovely.
Hear them sizzling.
Fantastic. And now, we're going to let these cook for a little bit longer, but what I would do traditionally is let them brown up on either side, whack them in an oven-safe bowl, and then I'd head over to this contraption over here, the oven. Now, we've already got some in the oven.
Yep.
Come with me. Travel, please. Oh, I've gone past. Step back. I need the gloves from a safe distance, of course. Now, we have the oven here. They've already been browning up there, as you can see. Take your eyeballs in there, viewer. Have a good look. That's something we prepared earlier, which is always good. We've got the more even heat coming through, permeating the meatball there. And this is what they're going to come out of our oven looking like. They've had the natural heat go through them. They're probably still a little bit hot, so get your hands away from them. Alice, can I get you to transfer those balls into there, please?
Absolutely.
And a good way to check if they're done is to just give them a slice through the middle to make sure they're not red or they're not, not undercooked to your liking. So have a look. Let's get the verdict on there. What do we think? Up to scratch?
Yep.
Happy with those, Henry?
Yeah.
Good. Elise, does that get you thumbs up? Let's get the balls in the dish there.
They look yummy.
Hands away from here. We don't want you to browning up there. Nice, they're looking good, aren't they? The website, of course, has all the ingredients and the key tips for how to make these. There they are. To garnish,
Olive oil on top, maybe?
if you want to drizzle.
Yeah.
A bit hard to drizzle with the old gloves, Henry. I'm going to leave you up on drizzling duties.
There you go, drizzle away.
Drizzle away from a height, just like the crane I showed you earlier. Very good.
Lovely. Ooh.
Very good. Absolutely swimming well. We're going to let those oils infuse our meatballs. Then it's time for tasting. We'll see you on the other side of this. Look at that. How's that going? Good. The old flip.
Come on, crunch time.